Humans have inhabited Earth for a microsecond in the timescale of the planet's history. And to date, only a fraction is known of our underwater world. Our ancestors were intuitively drawn to the oceans in search of food and adventure. Now, our inquisitive nature drives us to explore the depths. Diving to survive gradually evolved into living to dive. Humans strive to be at one with nature, to dive for passion, testing and exploring personal limits in time and depth. Depths once thought unattainable by the human body. So freediving was born. A journey into the aquatic underworld with only a single breath. Freediving, not only an extreme sport, but perhaps the most beautiful form of movement the human body can perform. Weightless, free to move three-dimensionally, as nowhere else on Earth. Athletes nowadays use special techniques and training to optimize their bodies to dive deeper in their quest to reach ever greater depths. As with any sport, competition follows. The world's premier freediving event, Vertical Blue, held at the remote location of Long Island, Bahamas, invites 20 of the world's top freediving athletes to compete over 9 days at Dean's Blue Hole, the deepest blue hole in the world. Vertical Blue offers athletes 3 disciplines in which they can compete and that are recognized by the sport's governing body, the International Association for the Development of Freediving, or AIDA. In constant weight dives, the athlete descends and ascends with the use of fins or a monofin. Constant weight no fins is the unassisted category, where divers are self-propelled down and up the line. In free immersion, divers use the line to pull themselves throughout the dive. At Vertical Blue, freedivers have every opportunity to push their limits. Unlike AIDA competitions, athletes can make repeat attempts during the following days. This means they keep pushing. Seven-time world record holder William Trubridge hosts the event.
It's an invitational event and we invite the top athletes in the world, but also people who get along together and all contribute to the same kind of vibe, the same energy.
William has a very personal stake in the competition. Not only the organizer of the event, he also defends his title in constant weight no fins. Affectionately known as Mighty Mouse, a petite 4 foot 11 inches tall, Sara Campbell burst onto the scene in 2007, shocking the freediving world by claiming 3 world records in just 3 days. At Vertical Blue, Sara's mission: to reclaim her world record title and be the first woman to dive to 100 meters.
I've never been in a position of reclaiming world records, so it's all fairly new, and only time will tell how I cope with it.
Herbert Nitsch has been the leading freediver for the last 8 years and has held more world records than any other freediver.
Trying to break a record is more like I want to see how far I can push myself.
Herbert can hold his breath for more than 9 minutes and dive self-propelled to more than 100 meters. He's known as the deepest man on Earth and is the undisputed world champion of freediving.
It feels like another door is opening and I can go another couple of meters more. And this is what I find so fascinating, that you can keep on going and I still have no clue where it's going to take me.
Freediving dates back beyond history. Humans have instinctively known that the body can survive longer underwater than the medical profession would have us believe. It's this confounding of science that makes freediving such a fascinating sport.
Okay. Yes, you are.
There are rules and preparation. A platform is constructed to allow for the necessary personnel. Over the 9 days of competition, the platform area swarms with officials. Judges are bobbing on the surface, medical personnel stand by, official camera operators are stationed to capture every moment. The divers must arrive at the site at least an hour before their official top time. Athletes have a coach for their dive. A fellow competitor usually fills this role. Divers have warm-up schedules and complete these religiously before attempting deep dives. For most world-class freedivers, packing is an integral part of this routine. Lung packing is a technique used to increase the capacity of air in the lungs beyond the normal limits. The purpose of packing before a dive is to fill the entire storage area of the lungs and other air spaces. But as much as packing can be beneficial to divers, it can also lead to blackout.
On the second day, I tried again. We had a detailed time schedule worked out, so Alex was pushing me to keep that schedule and pushing me so hard that I went in. I got dressed way too early. I went to the water early as well, and I was way too hot, causing my blood pressure to drop very low. And when I packed for the final breathe up, I just had a packing blackout caused by too much pressure on my lungs, causing the blood flow to the brain to stop, and I had a packing blackout. I think not many people noticed, only people that know how it looks like will have seen that.
Blackout is the sudden loss of consciousness caused by oxygen starvation. This usually occurs when the divers experience pressure changes.
Tap, talk slow, big weights, don't drop them. That's all right, breathe, Catherine.
Anja doch? Breathe, breathe, Will, breathe, big breaths, Will.
Whilst blackout is the most extreme reaction of a body fighting for oxygen, there are other less dramatic results. Freedivers regularly samba on the surface when they experience a loss of motor control due to oxygen starvation.
Hook, hook, hook! Breathe, 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 breathe! Hook, hook, breathe, hook, breathe, breathe! Hook, hook, come on! Walid, hook, hook, hook! Come on, Walid, yeah. Hook! I'm okay.
Official top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
dive. Didn't go so well. I came to the surface and was on the verge in terms of oxygen left in my system, so I had a slight samba and went over time in the surface protocol and was disqualified.
Nose flip. Big breath. Hold it. Keep breathing. Nose flip well. Nose flip.
The ability to equalize pressure with the surrounding water is of paramount importance in freediving. Without proper equalization, pressure difference in the sinus and middle ear causes increasing pain until eventually the eardrum will burst.
Preparation was actually quite good, but on the dive itself I had equalization problems, and I then turned around at 103 meters. Pulling myself up to the surface. The dive took much longer due to the pulling with my arms, and so they had some troubles with the safety. I heard afterwards. I wasn't aware of that, luckily, because I might have been worried.
Below 20 meters, an unconscious freediver is negatively buoyant and will sink like a stone. The safety team is vital. The objective for the safety diver is to meet the freediver on their ascent and escort them face to face through the area of greatest danger, from 30 meters to the surface. In all dives, the safety diver is responsible for timing the dive, and they should begin their descent at half the expected dive time. A determined Sara Campbell announces a world record attempt in the first few days of competition.
20 seconds. Five, four, three, two, one. Official top. 1, 2, 3.
Mighty Mouse pulls a hat trick and reclaims her world record in constant weight to 96 meters. The act of freediving is fraught with the possibility for panic, as one intentionally blocks the most involuntary of all reflexes, to breathe.
35 meters.
There are a number of psychological and physiological barriers to overcome. For freedivers, tuning into their natural ability to survive underwater for extended periods of time hints perhaps at our roots within the animal kingdom.
Let a diver go.
For freedivers to survive depths believed to be potentially fatal for the human body requires training and immense mental discipline. For most, it is beyond comprehension. The human body continues to confound us by challenging our understanding of its potential.
30 meters.
Look at
20 metres anymore, when I was looking at flights to go back home early, when I was scared of being in the water, when I just thought I'd taken on far too much too early in the year after my mum died last year, and I really thought I didn't have it in me anymore. And thanks to some great people here who've supported me and great people back home, I managed to get my head around it a few days ago and decided actually the numbers don't matter and the titles don't matter, but being in the water does matter to me. And that was how I approached the dive today, just to rediscover my curiosity for the water and my curiosity for the depth and see what I could do. And I had a mouthful of air still at 96, so a few days rest, and it looks like 100 should be possible for me in this competition. So very happy girl.
The organisation of Vertical Blue proved complicated. An immense amount of equipment was necessary, and the risks involved just added to the intensity between the freedivers.
I was going to attempt to dive in constant weight, and due to several different things going wrong with the organisation, I wasn't given a depth gauge or put on the line until like a couple of minutes before. So I basically aborted that dive. So I'm just going to treat it as the start of the competition from the beginning of the next act and see what I can do.
Even with the best organisation, there is no predicting the environment. The human facet is not the only factor to be dealt with. Nature has a mind of its own.
The visibility was a big problem, that it changed a lot. Sometimes it was so bad that we couldn't see the rope and there was no light down. So we had to find a light, which luckily we found. So we were just taping a light to my head, but it was kind of a hassle to put it there every day, and we were never sure whether it's going to stay there.
Freediving is a sport of few practitioners. Instead of contention, athletes find there are not enough participants to acquire enemies. Instead, those competing for the same records will often fulfill safety and coaching roles for their rivals.
Quite often find yourself safetying the person who's then going to go and try and attempt your record in the competition. And just today I went out with Herbert Nitsch. We were out spearfishing all day, got some nice groupers and hogfish. It was a really good, fun day.
After some relaxation and refocusing, it's time to get back to work. A refreshed Herbert picks up the pace in the competition and sets a new world record in constant weight to 120 meters.
Official top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
For most, it's incomprehensible. Starving the body of life-giving oxygen, diving to inconceivable depths. Only freedivers themselves could explain this extraordinary phenomenon as they make the transition to marine mammal, reaching for the abyss.
40 meters. 1 minute 15.
Okay.
Even with supreme confidence, the body's limitations are very real. Sara Campbell's first attempt to dive to 100 meters unfortunately resulted in a blackout.
Grab her, grab her, grab her.
No flip. Get that big weight off.
Tap, talk slow, please.
Low in her face. Marco.
Talk slow. Let your off. Let your off. Breathe. Breathe. Okay.
It was so close, just a couple of seconds on the surface, and I would have had that world record title. I would have had the 100 meters to my name as well. But in my heart, I kind of feel I did it. So now I can get down, I can get back. Just have to work on my hook breathing on the surface, and 100 meters is definitely mine.
Seconds.
Against all the odds, including the stress of organising a world-class event such as this, a determined William fought back to successfully reclaim his world record to 88 metres in constant weight, no fins.
8, 9, 10.
Physiological changes occur when mammals, whether whales, dolphins or humans, hold their breath and dive to extended depths for extended periods of time. There is a drop in heart rate to as low as 14 beats per minute. Blood surges from the extremities to the heart and the brain. The increasing pressure of the water compresses the diver's lungs to 1/4 of their normal size.
60 meters.
It's difficult to understand why freedivers put their bodies through so much stress. This sport involves something counterintuitive: to dive beyond any air source.
60 meters.
Contrary to popular belief, freedivers do not shut down their minds as a way of coping with the mental challenges of the sport. Whilst diving, athletes attempt to maintain absolute mental focus, concentrating only on the stage of the dive they are currently performing.
50 meters.
Close plug. Set. Armic. Keep your head up. Keep your head up. Keep your head out of the water.
Keep breathing, Will.
Keep breathing.
What draws these divers to the water in the face of such adversity is the feeling of being at one with the sea. There is something pure and exhilarating about venturing far out of man's habitat, back towards the origins of evolution.